Hi everyone, it's Amy here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So today I have a book haul for you. I am buying so many books at the moment, I need to calm down. So I am thinking I'm going to put some kind of plan in place for the rest of the year, maybe like some targets or something that I need to reach in order to buy new books, because I'm buying them and I'm not reading them as quickly as I'm buying them. So my shelves are just filling up and it's not good. So we need to control ourselves. Anyway, let's jump into the books that I've acquired recently. The first book I have here is the only one that I received from a publisher this month. I received it free of charge. I will leave the details down below because actually the author's name is one that I'm not going to try and pronounce, but it is The Son of the House. And as I said, I'll put the author's name down below if you want to go and find this book. This one is set in Nigeria and it follows two women who are brought together in a not very nice situation, it seems, and they are telling their life stories to each other. I have really been trying to diversify the books that I'm kind of buying or consuming at the moment, and so this is great. Like, it's just building on that for me so that I can just read from a very different perspective that I wouldn't necessarily have read from a few years ago, or even like thought about to look for a few years ago. So yeah, I'm really glad that Europa contacted me about this one because I'm really looking forward to it. I've got such a random mixture of books here today. I literally haven't put them in any kind of order. So the next one I've got here is the second book in a fantasy series, and that is The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon. So this is from the Bone Season series. I really enjoyed the Bone Season, and so I cannot wait to read the second book in this series. Have you read them? Have you enjoyed them? It's definitely one that I feel that people would maybe start but like shy away from, because that first book, it's quite complex. The fantasy and the magic system, everything that they've got kind of going on in there, there's a lot of random words. There's literally like a glossary at the back to tell you what the words mean, and so you have to kind of put a bit of effort in. But once you get in there and you've kind of got that baseline knowledge of what on earth is happening, I really enjoyed it. So can't wait to continue on with this series. Next up, we have The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates. So I read Between the World and Me years ago and I loved it. And that book I gave to someone to borrow and they never gave it back to me, and now I don't speak to that person anymore, so it's lost to me. I will have to purchase it again at some point, but this, I believe, is Ta-Nehisi's first foray into fiction, which is really interesting to me. So this one follows the story of a man who is born into slavery on a plantation. Yet it says here on the back that he is also born gifted with a mysterious power that he won't discover until he is almost a man. That sounds very mysterious to me. I don't know what that could be. I don't know whether that's a metaphorical power or if there is actual, like, if there's some kind of magical realism aspect of this book. I haven't looked too much into it because I almost want to be surprised by that, to see what that might be. Very much looking forward to seeing what fiction from this author is like, because I remember adoring the words in Between the World and Me, and so this I think is going to be a good one. Next up we have The Glass Hotel by Emily St John Mandel. So Station 11 is one of my all-time favourite books. I reread it again in January and loved it even more then. Now, I've never read any other book from Emily St John Mandel, so decided to pick up her newest one. This one has just recently come out in paperback, and in all honesty, the synopsis on the back doesn't really give me a lot. There's a lot of characters and various things happening with different people that I'm assuming all link up in a similar way to Station 11. So I imagine we'll have a very similar situation wherein we have a huge cast of characters that seemingly don't seem connected, but then as the story progresses, they all kind of come in together. I really hope that this is going to spark off a whole kind of journey into Emily St John Mandel's books, because I know she's got a fair few others. I just have never decided to pick anything up from her, so can't wait to read this one. Next up, we have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This is another one that's recently come out in paperback. I recently read The Mothers and absolutely adored it, really enjoyed the story. The characters were so rich and raw, and this one I think promises to be a very similar experience. It follows the story of two identical twins who run away from home when they're 16 and then end up living very different lives. One of them returns and lives within the black community that they grew up in, and then the other lives and passes as a white woman, and her husband doesn't actually even know of her heritage or where she's from. Sounds like it's going to be another read that brings up a lot of thoughts and feelings for me, just like The Mothers. I'm really, really excited for this one. Have you read this one? I feel like this is one that everybody is raving about at the moment, so can't wait. Next up we have Hamlet by Maggie O'Farrell. Now, I've never read anything from this author before, but I've always heard really good things, and obviously I've been seeing this one around everywhere at the moment, so thought I would give it a go. This one's also recently come out in paperback. You guys know me, I love my paperbacks, so I just wait for them all to come out and then pre-order them. So my understanding of this one is that it follows the story of Hamlet, the son of William Shakespeare, who unfortunately died when he was quite young, I believe, and who then inspired the name of the play Hamlet. Everybody is screaming about this book at the moment, so I'm really hoping it's going to be a 5-star read. We shall see. Next up we have a couple of classics, the first one being A Handful of Dust by Evelyn Waugh. This one follows the story of Lady Brenda Last and her husband Tony, who are very well-to-do people, very wealthy. However, she is not very happy with the situation that she's in, unhappy with her marriage, and so she starts an affair with a young kind of socialite, and from there her marriage starts to disintegrate. On the back it says that it's a dazzling comedy, so we will see how funny it is. It's a reasonably short one, so I'm sure I will get to it soon and let you know my thoughts. Next up we have 2 books by Elizabeth Acevedo, the first one being Clap When You Land. So I read The Poet X by this author earlier in the year, absolutely adored it, so decided to pick up her other 2 books. This one is another book that is told in verse, so it's like it's told in a giant poem, and it follows the story of 2 young women who are half-sisters but are unaware of each other. They share the same father, and at the very beginning of the novel their father dies in a plane crash, and so they discover each other. One of them lives in the Dominican Republic and one of them lives in New York, and it's their coming together and the situation that they're in following the death of their father. As I'm filming this video, I'm actually about halfway through reading this book and I'm absolutely loving it, so I'm feeling it may be a 5-star from me. The second book that I have here, also from Elizabeth Acevedo, is With the Fire on High. This one isn't in verse, so it's just written like a normal book, and it tells the story of a young girl who is 17. She has a 2-year-old daughter and she's wanting to be a chef, and it's her aspirations to becoming a chef. I have a feeling that Elizabeth Acevedo is going to become one of my favourite authors, so I can't wait to read this one. By the time that this video goes up, I may have already even read this book, so who knows. Keep an eye on me on Goodreads or on Instagram if you want to be right up to date with what I'm reading in the moment. Next up we have The Most Fun We Ever Had by Claire Lombardo. This one's actually been recommended to me a few times in the comments on YouTube, so I'm glad that I finally got my hands on it. From the back here it looks like it's going to be a pretty epic family drama. It follows the Sorensen family and all of the different members of that family, and so I'm very much looking forward to seeing what it holds. I will certainly let you know what I think of it once I've read it. Another classic that I have here is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. This is one that's actually been on my TBR for a really, really long time, and I believed I had a copy of the book, and I must have done, but I just don't know where it's gone, and so I wanted to read it the other month and I just couldn't find it anywhere. I literally looked everywhere, and so maybe I imagined that I owned it in the first place, but I'm sure I had it. Anyway, I thought I would buy myself a lovely Penguin English Library edition of it. On the back here it says, North and South depicts a young woman discovering herself in a nuanced portrayal of what divides people and what brings them together. This is another one that a lot of people have recommended to me on Instagram and various places, so very much looking forward to reading this. I'm really keen just to read some more classics. I've been loving them recently. So yeah, I can't wait to read this one. Have you read anything from Elizabeth Gaskell? Let me know down below. And the final book I have to share with you today is actually a graphic novel. It is volume 9 of Saga. I feel like it's been a while since Saga has been a thing on BookTube. I remember it being huge when I first started BookTube in 2013, and in the time period of me not being on YouTube for that 3 years, I thought loads of these books would have come out, but they haven't. I'm only a couple behind, I think, so I've got myself number 9. I think what I might do is reread a few of the previous volumes before jumping into this one, because my recollection of the story is a bit sketchy. If you've never read Saga before, it's brilliant, and I'm not a big sci-fi kind of person. It follows the story of these 2 characters here who are from 2 warring nations, and they've had a baby with each other, and this baby is very much sought after because it's considered an abomination and everybody's chasing them basically. It's brilliant, it's funny, it's sweet. I do recall it making me tear up at one point in one of them, so I'm very much looking forward to continuing my Saga journey. So there we are, those are all the books that I have acquired recently. Have you read any of these? I would love to hear down below. What have you been buying recently? Come and have a chat with me. As always, I will leave links to everything I've mentioned today down below. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I will see you soon. Bye!